everyone, this is Star with Ariana Stock. This is another pick-up pile reading. The topic we are going to cover in this reading is about your financial condition or what you can expect with respect to your finances. We have two piles here. This is pile A, which is the French currency or the French coin, which is the franc, and this is pile B, which is the US quarter dollar. Viewers, you can also pause the video and decide intuitively which pile you're being drawn to. Incidentally, we also have the timestamp given in the description box, so in case you want to proceed directly to your reading, you can do that. Viewers, I would also like to add here that this is a timeless reading, so whenever you have a look at it, you remember or please keep in mind that the messages are just for you. I'll remove pile B for now. Those of you who picked pile A, if you notice the French currency here, which is the franc, we have the Gallic rooster, which is a symbol of hope and faith, especially during the Renaissance period or during the revivalist period. The French public, they viewed this rooster as a symbol of hope and faith. It is also a religious symbol. The words equality, fraternity, and liberty are also embossed in this coin. So certainly you're somebody who favors the underdog or who supports the underdog instead of the overlord. You're someone who will obviously have other people's back, those who are being in situations where they are being tormented or where they are being oppressed by their superiors. You're someone who is quite proud and courageous. You're opinionated and prolific as a worker as well. You're also someone who is quite adventurous and sporting, so you may be wanting to move forward. I'll keep this aside for now. The first card we have here is the Two of Swords. At the time of this reading, I think you are under a lot of pressure. Maybe it's a very hectic period. It will be marked by sudden changes. Possibly you're also unable to decide on how you should proceed. Maybe you have options before you. Ideally, I think pile A, you should follow your instinct or your gut feeling. But of course, you'll also have to find solutions to the problems immediately. Maybe there's a messy situation, but then you'll use your intellect. Because you have the Swords energy over here, which is concerned with the air sign. So you are somebody who is going to use your intellect to good effect and resolve issues that are there. Another thing I'm also picking up, pile A, that maybe you should focus or you should be more attentive. Maybe your superior or your boss could hold you up for being inattentive. This is why your loved ones may feel that you should look for another job, or maybe you're not focusing enough, so you may also get the boot. Ideally, pile A, you should refocus. Another card we have here is the Ten of Swords. So another Swords energy which is coming up in this reading. Knives are also being sharpened behind your back, like the pressure can get to you, but the pressure also teaches us to come out of the situation and then we can focus on other things as well. Maybe it prepares us for something which is bigger than life. Some of you also need financial assistance in this period. Incidentally, I'm also picking up that your dues could come in case somebody owes you some money, then you will definitely get it. But then you may also have to repay some of the debts you owe. There will also be financial support coming in from somebody whom you're always relying on. Like I said, maybe you may also feel that at times that you're going around in circles. Maybe you think that your pockets aren't too deep, or your plans regarding your future could baffle your loved ones. Perhaps you should discuss with them what is it that you want in life. Sometimes, you'll also be making gains, but then you may think it's inadequate. That is why the feeling that there isn't much to show or to write home about. Another card we have here is the Knight of Wands. Whatever it is, pile A, I'm also picking up that you're someone who's quite adventurous. Like I said earlier in this reading, that you are someone who's quite prolific as well. So it's a huge possibility that you're a creative personality. The French people are also known to be quite creative, so you have picked up the French currency. So as a nation, French people are seen as someone who's quite dignified and who are more interested in their own creative aspects or their creative skills. They don't care about what's going on around them. They'll focus on their own individuality. So this is something which you need to understand about yourself. Maybe this time you will be able to, in this period that you're going through, you'll be able to understand or discover that side of your personality. Despite all the hardships, I'm also picking up that good news is in the offing. You have to deal or you have to battle the obstacles and be prepared for the great many changes that are going to come into your career. Also, while you're working, I think you should focus so much so that you don't get distracted, because it's no point doing the work over and over again. Redoing means that we end up being hassled. Nonetheless, it's a productive period and you're in the mood, and despite the interruptions or despite the impediments, you're going to forge ahead because the energy flow is quite good. Also, while you're doing financial transactions or when you're dealing with clients, you should read the fine print. Maybe you should also take tips from your financial consultant or whom you rely on with respect to financial matters. Because you're able to overcome the situation and emerge as a Knight of Wands, so that is why I think you're also being seen as a leader of the pack. You also need to be very clear with respect to financial transactions. Maybe you should be more transparent. There could also be official mails that you have to go through with respect to work. Another card we have here is Aroma Memories. Pile, there are certain memories that well up in you now and then with respect to your finances. Maybe in the past you were in a good situation, so you're thinking about that. It's no point lapsing into what has been. Perhaps your financial condition is also being affected as you're dwelling in the past. Maybe you have to look ahead rather than ruminate or reflect on the past. Incidentally, the next card we have here is Fear. Fear is in itself a limitation. It can also set us back. Basically, fear is something which paralyzes us and it does not allow us to move forward. Possibly, Pile, there are times when you fear the future or the fear of the obstacles or the fear of the unknown, but you should remember that you have to have that faith, because you're someone who is quite adventurous, so you're someone who's a risk taker. Sometimes you don't want to face a situation, but you should keep in mind that you are someone who has that attitude to come forward and to move forward with the changes. The next card we have here is Burial. So bury the fear, get rid of the anxiety or the things that are limiting you. Possibly you're also being called upon to bury the past. Sometimes I think you may also have been in situations where there has been emptiness or void which you have felt at work. Maybe there's negativity around you on account of the workplace. Or you're also dealing with someone around you who is unwell. So that is also weighing you down, or it is affecting your work situation. Certainly, Pile, you need healing and change. Maybe the stagnation is there, or there's finality on account of decisions that you have made, but then these decisions have to be made. The transition phase may not be good, but then it will definitely make us better at work. Like I said, we have the Two of Swords, we have the Ten of Swords. So this is something which you need to do away with, and you need to realize that you have that drive in you to move forward. Another card we have here is Crossroads from the Lenormand, which is interesting because, like I said in the earlier part of this reading, you are undecided about a decision. Maybe you have two choices before you. There's also grass in this, so you can take a rocky path which could be turbulent, but then it makes you a stronger personality, or you can take a path which is easy. Without challenges, our personality does not evolve. For some of you, I'm also picking up it's a turning point, or you may be wondering whether to take an alternative route. Maybe you have two plans before you, plan A or plan B. So these paths can open new possibilities for you rather than being stuck in the past. The next card we have here is the God box. So maybe you have some plans or you have some aspirations from yourself or certain desires from yourself. So if you want to move forward, maybe you can write down your worries or concerns or desires and put that piece of paper in a special box which you keep at the altar. So you are just sending this message across to the universe or to the angels who are there supporting you, so that they can step in and guide you and intervene in your financial condition. Basically, you should let the angels take over and support you in your work. Another card we have here is volunteer. Perhaps you can do volunteer work. Maybe it's the best method of effecting change related to an issue that you're passionate about. This is also another career option or a potential career option that you have. The possibility of meeting up with friends and renewing contacts or tapping into your contacts could also help you. Possibly you should also volunteer, be helpful as you give, so you will also receive. You will definitely be rewarded for the goodness that you show. The last card we have here is revealing radiance. If you notice carefully, we have the pearl in this oyster. So you're someone who's still trying to find your feet. You're still trying to understand how you need to proceed at work. The pearl, as you know, it takes time and from a speck of sand, but when it shines, it's a joy to behold. You must realize there's light within you, that it's expanding and it's illuminating others and bringing light to the darkness. So even if there's been a period or there's been a tumultuous period in your life with respect to finances, you should understand that there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Basically, light and blessings are coming your way. Pile A. I hope Pile A you liked your reading. This is Star with Ariana. Star, please give us your feedback in the comment section. Those of you who picked Pile B, which is the US quarter dollar, if you notice closely, this is a coin with a symbol of the outstretched eagle. This is a symbol of power. You're also someone who can do something with nothing. Maybe you have the means, or you're someone who's quite resourceful as a person. You're quite creative as well. Besides, the eagle is a bird which is connected to the angels. It's man's connection with the divine because it flies higher than any of the birds. So you're someone who's deeply connected to the divine, and you're being guided with respect to finances by God. You need freedom because this quarter dollar also has a word liberty. In God we trust. So like I said, you need freedom to follow your passions, or you want to be in a situation where you are given a lot of freedom to proceed, or you don't want those limitations on yourself. You work well without boundaries or without the pressure. The first card we have here is for Pile B is the Five of Swords. The next card is the Queen of Swords. Certainly you are someone who is quite intelligent. You are someone who uses your brain while working. There are surprises in store for you at this time of this reading whenever you have a look at it. Maybe you are giving serious thought to a venture. That is why I said you have picked up the US quarter dollar. So you're someone who thinks out of the box. There are some delays which you have to deal with, but then you're someone who wants to take your chances and you will capitalize. You're also a good communicator because your clip talk will help you make gains, and this in turn will help you overcome whatever financial difficulties that you're encountering. Basically, Pile B, you have to be ready to sail with the changes. Possibly on account of work also, you're always moving about, or there's commuting. There's also the chance that you're dealing with technical work or paperwork. Largely, you're in an aggressive mode, or you're someone who wants to take the bull by the horns. You want to move forward. Sometimes, your ideas may also seem quite controversial, or maybe so you should understand what your colleagues want. Give it a thought. Your ice cool temperament, because we have the Queen of Swords, so while working you may be having a very professional attitude, but you want to be on top of situations, so that this could also rub people the wrong way. Nonetheless, it's because of your professionalism that you are turning heads. There are times when you don't want to explain yourself, or you don't want to elaborate or elucidate on whatever you have decided upon. Like the Five of Swords, I think the Queen of Swords is also someone who's quite in a hurry to complete the task. Some sudden activity is also quite likely. Maybe you have to prepare to move with the changes that are there. Possibly there could be the emergence of a new client before you. Certainly money and wages are coming in for pile B at this time of this reading. The next card we have here is the Hierophant, or the High Priest in the deck. You should ask for favors, and you will definitely be obliged. Perhaps you should also look into whatever you are doing. You should review the work. You should read the fine print. Sometimes you may also find yourself in situations where your superior could saddle you with the work of a colleague, but then you'll have to sidestep the issue very tactfully, and you should move away from such situations. Maybe they expect you to do the groundwork and they walk away with the plaudits. So pile B, you should be very careful about being in such situations where you don't get the recognition that you deserve. Ideally, you should highlight whatever it is that you have done to improve the working condition, or how you have gone about doing a task, because credit should be given where it is due. Some of you, I'm also feeling that you are going to plan for upcoming office event, or there's an event which you need to get off the ground, or some kind of task that you're doing, and you'll get the support from everybody around you. You are in the spotlight, no doubt. The next card we have here is Bridge, Reconciliation. So pile B, you may be detached from certain colleagues, but you have to reconcile your differences, or you have to be more collaborative and cooperative. That's why we have the Bridge card, or the Reconciliation card. For some of you, I'm also picking up that you could be traveling. Like I said, you may be commuting also. So for growth to take place, this transition is also necessary, because you're moving from one level to another level. The bridge, as you know, that it takes us to another place. So that is why maybe at work also you're moving from one plane to another plane. Interestingly, I'm just picking up that you need to do aura cleansing for yourself as well. Maybe divine intervention is also something which you are seeking. At the onset of this reading, I did talk about you depending on the angels, because we had the eagle symbol on the US quarter dollar. Ideally, you have to focus on the opportunities, and you have to get the support that you need from everybody to overcome the obstacles. You have to connect with others, because you desire stability and progress. The next card we have is the Material World. Your focus is entirely on the material world. You want to add more to whatever you have in your pockets. Maybe you want to increase be more stable. Like I said, you want to increase your situation in life. You definitely see as wealth as something which can help improve your status. The next card we have here is the Anchor. These are a lot of symbols which are coming up in this reading, which are connected to the sea, from the anchor or from the bridge. Or the movement is there. So possibly pile B, you desire stability and security, because the anchor moves you in a safe place, such as a beach or a harbor, and it gives us a sense of security. You want to feel the firm ground, just like the sailor who plans to come ashore and he wants to be on terra firma. Similarly, you want to be in a very secure and stable position with respect to your financial condition. There are responsibilities, and sometimes burdens could be enormous or it could feel like a weight, but then you're also free to pull the anchor and move elsewhere. Maybe you're also someone who's collaborating or working with people elsewhere. Maybe there is technology related work, so maybe you're connecting with each other on account of the internet. The next card from Lenormand we have is the ring, which is next to the anchor. So certainly, Palbi, you're being asked to honor the commitments. You're going to sign some contracts. You're going to collaborate, or you're going to be in a partnership agreement with some people. There will be agreement or harmony in your contracts only when you have the same thoughts and ideas. So before you go ahead and honor those commitments, you have to realize that you need to be disciplined to achieve your ends. The next card we have from Archangel Raphael. The healing angel is with you, supporting your healing work. So those of you who are healers, or you have the innate ability to heal others, you must remember that Archangel Raphael is supporting your work. He is also the angel which you should call upon whenever you feel stuck at work. Maybe a colleague or a client is unwell, so maybe you're helping that person as well. So in such a situation or in such a scenario, you're being asked to call upon Archangel Raphael for help. The next card we have here is End of an Era from a Butterfly Oracle deck. Like chapters in a book, life has different eras that begin and culminate. Maybe there's a cycle of beginnings and endings. This is definitely touching your life. So be very gentle during this period of transition. Take time to grieve over the losses. Make plans for what you would desire or to do next. You're also being asked to say no to extra work because, in this reading it came up, you may be feeling as though you're being saddled with excess work because colleagues aren't up to it. Possibly, Palbi, you should also take time to rest, heal, and prepare for the next phase of your career. Last but not the least, we have the card Flying Free. I unfold my wings and fly. This is interesting because we have the bird again in this reading, because the coin had the eagle. So you're looking ahead and you're flying free. You are going to be in a situation where you will decide that you need to spread your wings and you need to go beyond your predictable behavior and say yes to life, or say yes to new kind of tasks that come up. In fact, when you do so, you will realize that you are being supported because you have already got the ring, you already have got the water symbols over here, the bridge or the anchor. So you are being guided. You see, this person is also going to move forward and he has to cross the sea also over here. So again, you're being asked to move forward, or maybe you're supposed to travel or look ahead, or you need to communicate with those people who live elsewhere if you want to succeed with respect to your career. Birds also means communication. So you are being called upon to communicate to make greater gains. I hope Palbi, you liked your reading. This is Star with Ariana Stark. Please give us your feedback in the comment section. We also have other pick a card readings, so you can have a look at our playlist. Also, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends and acquaintances. This is Ariana Stark signing off. Take care. Bye. Till the next time.